Welcome to Forte and Goal. It is week 13, and I wanted to take today's video and make it about the Cowboys and the Saints game that took place on Thursday night. Cowboys won that game 27-17 in New Orleans. And the reason I wanted to talk about the game is just to sort of go over, my reaction to it. I feel like this game was kind of telling for the Cowboys, and I wanted to share some thoughts about it. Right, coming into this game, I have to be honest. I would have probably picked the Cowboys to roll to maybe about 27 because I do like the defense for the Saints. I didn't think they'd really give up 13 points. I would have said, hey, maybe 13 points. This is a team that was going to be quarterbacked by Taysom Hill, and they were missing weapons. Kamara wasn't there. They were missing one of their top offensive linemen, Ryan Ramczyk, and missing, I think, one other key player. I'm trying to remember who. It'll come back to me. But meanwhile, the Cowboys were getting back DeMarcus Lawrence. Zeke was playing. CeeDee Lamb was playing. I just felt like, wow, we're poised to really be almost at full strength. Tyron Smith is there. Lyle Collins was there. The only guy missing, a couple of people missing, but Terrence Steele, who had started for some unknown reason against the Raiders at right tackle, he's on the COVID list as well. McCarthy and a couple other coaches were going to miss the game because of COVID protocols as well. So it's a little tough on the Cowboys as far as that's concerned, but we're going to be at full strength. So I just felt like, look, other than being so I felt like the advantage was definitely on the Cowboys. Let me give you a couple of stats, a deeper dive, just to give you some kind of foundation as to, the difference in these two teams, okay? Now, coming into this game, I should mention that the Saints were on a losing streak of 4 games. Cowboys were on a losing streak of 2 games. After the game, the Cowboys are now 8-4. The Saints are 5-7. The rankings for total yards, the Cowboys lead the league. We're first. The Saints were 25th. In tackles, the Cowboys are 20th. The Saints are 11th. Remember, they have the defense, right? Interestingly enough, both teams are sacked for 15th. Okay? Let's see. We've got Cowboys are first in the league in interceptions. The Saints are 4th. The Cowboys are 3rd in the league in points per game. The Saints are 18th. Or excuse me, this is offensively, excuse me. This is all offense. Then points against, the Cowboys are 16th. The Saints are 20th. The net yards rushing, the Cowboys are 27th. The Saints are 22nd. Time of possession, Cowboys are 8th. Saints are 10th. Net yards passing, Cowboys are 32nd, and the Saints are 8th. Times sacked, Cowboys are 17th, Saints are 17th. Interceptions thrown, the Cowboys are 13th, the Saints are 23rd. Yards per game, Cowboys are 1st, the Saints are 25th. Rushing yards per game, the Cowboys are now 7th, and the Saints are 14th. Yards against per game, Cowboys are 27th, the Saints are 12th. Passing yards against per game, of course, we're talking defense. Cowboys are 27th, the Saints are 23rd. Rushing yards against per game, the Cowboys are 13th, the Saints are 5th. And then Points allowed per game, the Cowboys are 10th and the Saints are 15th. Time of possession, Cowboys are 16th and the Saints are 21st. So you can see the big lean towards favorable stats for the Saints on defense. On another level of note, or excuse me, of stats, I wanted to mention that as I look around the league, now there's still a couple of teams that have played 12 games, and then with today's game, Sunday's games, some teams are going to be playing their 12th game. Interestingly enough, the Cowboys are doing really well in terms of how many points they've scored versus how many points they have given up. Let's see. So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, right? The Patriots are doing really well. They've got a lot of points, only 190 points against, and their record is 8-4. Meanwhile, the division lead, or their division opponent, the Bills, they've scored 326 points, and they've given up 182. So believe it or not, the Bills are actually doing. I said they 182. So believe it or not, the Bills are actually doing a little bit better than the Patriots, and the Patriots meanwhile lead by a game. The Baltimore Ravens have scored 263. They've given up 240. Meanwhile, and I said they've done a little better, the Bills, but the Bills have played 11 games. The Patriots have played 12 games. The Ravens have played 11 games. They've given up 240 points. It's a little bit more than both of those teams I just mentioned before. And they've scored only 263. So something to think about there. Meanwhile, the Bengals in their same division have scored 309. They've given up 226. So they're doing better. And they've played also 11 games, but they trail the Ravens by a game. They're 7-4. Ravens are 8-3. Meanwhile, division leading Tennessee has scored 304, given up 290, and right behind them at 6-6 is the Colts. They've given up they've scored 340, and they've given up 283. So they're doing better, but they're behind by 2 games. Kansas City is at 281, giving up 250. Okay, so they're not lighting it up on the scoreboard as far as scoring, but their defense is starting to play good football. And the Chargers are at 273 for, 293 against. They've played 11 games, so the Chiefs. Cowboys, meanwhile, 353 points scored, only 267 against. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 347 scored and 253 against. But they've played 11 games. Cowboys have played 12. See, so that's favors the Cowboys in terms of the points against. Not bad points against. Only a little bit ahead as far as points for. Interestingly enough, the 5-6 Atlanta Falcons, 199 points for, 302 against, and they're only one game under 500. Washington, you would think, coming into the season, you'd have thought, wow, look at how they would do. 229 as far as the points for, 282 points against, and they've played 11 games. Green Bay Packers, 283 points, 242 against. They've played 12 games. Okay? They're playing good defense, have not scored a ton of points. Don't forget, Aaron Rodgers was out one of those games, and then they laid an egg in week 1. So, these stats are interesting. And the Rams come in scoring 299, giving up 263. So it just gives you some idea of how these teams are doing as far as for and against, whether they're winning games, giving up tons of points, everything. So I had every reason to believe. Now, sorry for the stats overload. I apologize. But if you looked at the game, I just felt like the main theme here was that, look, the defense came with 4 interceptions, had a couple of sacks. Micah Parsons shined again. That's like a broken record. Micah Parsons has been lights out. And he could easily be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. He's certainly going to get Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. The guy's been a stud, and he's done everything and more that the Cowboys have asked or expected. He's stayed healthy. He's been a stud. He's been a stud. He barely comes off the field, and there's good reason for him to stay out there. It was great to see DeMarcus Lawrence back. I didn't know whether he would have a big game or not. I liked that he played. I liked the impact that he had. He had a few pressures, one knockdown. I think he had a tip ball. He was disruptive. He made some tackles. I thought, look, he was disruptive. He was every bit the kind of guy that, he's been billed as. And I've got to be real honest. Look, I like him as a person. I like him. He's a Cowboy player. But I feel like the last couple of years, he's not produced quite at the level that people want him to. And believe me, I've seen all the, excuses out there. I've seen, how he does so many other things. And he does. But at the end of the day, this is a guy that has to get some sacks, has to get the pressure, and he's been getting pressures, but the stats have to be there too. He's got to get a few more sacks. He just hasn't gotten them, and that's that's concerning. But it was great to see him out there finally this season, and I hope that he continues to play at the level he played this week against the Saints. Now, I thought the defense overall played fairly well. My biggest issue with the defense right now is that we have got to stop giving up big pass plays, big chunk pass plays. I don't like that when we play man-to-man, we're so susceptible to the, to the mesh, like the going across the middle, those deep dig passes. They tried that in the game because it worked against the Raiders. The Raiders did it to perfection. They felt like, look, we'll do this, and let's see if they can handle it. And they tried it against Anthony Brown again because Anthony Brown was the one, I believe, that gave it up in the last game. But either way, they wanted to do it against the Cowboys, those deep digs, because they feel like going across the field, very hard for any defensive back to prevent those completions, and they could get some big gains out of that. Meanwhile, I saw a rub play where a guy got free for a first down and a big gain. So again, we've got to do a little better in these when we're in man. We've got to do a better job of not giving up those kind of easy plays. The screen passes, okay, could be a problem at times, but I thought overall we played pretty good against that with the Saints. But again, it's the deep pass plays that concern me. But more concerning is the offense. Okay, we had all of our weapons, and offensively, we weren't able to run the ball effectively. I don't think Zeke is 100%. I think people can see that. When he was 100% in the beginning of the season, he looked fresh, he looked fast, he looked crisp, he was making sharp cuts. He looked like the Zeke of old, right? And people are telling me right now, they're like, oh, is Zeke washed? Is this and that? And I'm like, no, he's just not healthy. You can see he's not 100%. But it's good that we have Tony Pollard to come in there and really, pick up the pace and get the big breakaways and bring that lightning. But, Zeke needs to get back to 100%. That's one thing. I'm not a big fan of putting in McGovern over Connor Williams. I don't know why they had Steele in there instead of Lyle Collins. Lyle Collins is the better player in my opinion. And by the way, we didn't hear anything from the defensive end, Cameron Jordan, on that left side because Lyle Collins was there. Not to mention Tyron Smith on the other side. Both of them did a great job. Excuse me. I think there was some pressure a couple of times from the Saints. Mainly from blitzes or up the middle. They do have a strong interior line, but the Cowboys, did a pretty decent job in pass protection, and I would like to have seen better production in the passing game, and especially the running game. The passing game really wasn't even the worst. It was just not enough production out of the running game. And I know the Saints are terrific against the run, but if you notice, I mean, look, let's be realistic. You can't stop everything. If you're going to be so strong in the middle, and you're not going to give up gains that way, then let's try outside. When the Cowboys tried running outside, they found some daylight, they found some space, they were able to get bigger gains. Zeke got a couple. TP obviously got a couple, especially the big 55-yard touchdown play that he got. It's all on the outside. So, look, if something doesn't work, you go find what does. And if something does work, you keep doing it. That's football 101, right? So these are my thoughts about the game. I give the Saints credit. They fought hard. They were undermanned, and I don't think anybody really gave them much of a chance. And they kept it. They kept it close. They made it a game, and I don't think they disappointed their fans with the effort. Taysom Hill is really not the answer as far as being a quarterback. I'm surprised that they even thought about that at the beginning of the season. Jameis Winston's a little better. Maybe he can carry them until they find themselves somebody that's superlative. But Cowboys got themselves an easy one. It should have been a lot easier. These are my thoughts. I'm sticking to it. Let's hope that let's all hope. I definitely hope that the Cowboys start to find their chemistry and figure out what is missing offensively to take them higher and really get into the playoffs, really clicking and hitting on all cylinders. That's it. Just signing out. Thanks so much for tuning in. And again, I will in the future figure these things out with the video editing and everything, so that you guys can see a lot more things visually rather than my pretty face. But thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And until the next time, enjoy the games.